Welcome to a new video in my 7¼ inch gauge local build series, and this time I'm going to do the voiceover first and the build footage, and then you see me talking and walking through the model at the end. I continued with the body fabrication. I think last time we had most of the panels done and the cab front separately. So pretty much all I had to do is weld all these bigger pieces together. So first of all, I welded this angle iron to the side, and that's basically just keep the whole body to rest on the frame of the locomotive. So these two angle irons, and then the front cab is all that is sitting on the frame, and they are going to be bolted together, that I talked about in the last video. And then pretty much after that, I just had to weld the body, the cab fronts to the sides, which I was really nervous about because this was the first time that I was doing butt joints or butt welding. So I was just going on the inside, and I was placing these beads on. Of course, the space was really restricted. So yeah, but it worked out fine, and I was really happy that I didn't screw it up, basically, because I was afraid that, maybe if I use too much amps, that the whole plate is going to burn through. But these are 2mm plates, and according to the instruction, I should use 60 amps. So I used 60 amps. I think it was 60, yeah. And it was working just fine. And you can see on the other side, the steel colored blue, which I was told that's a good sign of a good weld. And yeah, I was happy, and nothing seemed to have warped, and yeah, it was all working out fine. And then finally I was placing the roof on, and again I just had to just get inside and then lay some beads on the inside, which was really tricky because I mean, based on the angles and how the roof was bending on top of the sides, it was really hard to get close to it with the torch. And of course, and I was doing all this inside the whole chassis, and I mean, I just didn't have enough space for my arm, so I can just move the torch up and down as I was making the bead. So I think what I ended up doing in most cases is I just, drag the torch across, and then when I thought that the bead is not strong enough, I was just going through the second time as well. Probably this is not how you're supposed to do that, but I think it's going to be good enough. I mean, it's, that roof is not structural, so it just has to hold the whole thing together. And I was really happy that everything, seems to be holding together so well. And initially I thought that I might have to put in some stringers on the inside to keep the sides not warping, because I only use 2mm steel or thick sheets. But as I mentioned before, for the louvers and the window frames, there are actually additional, 2mm plates welded on the inside. So even though, these are all the parts that I have on the whole bodywork, it seems to be really rigid at the moment. It's probably the top really help to, just keep everything together. And as I said, on the, well, not on the underside, but so on the lower positions, I will have a couple of screws which is going to help keep everything together. So I think that should be enough, and that would keep the whole body together. And yeah, I think hopefully it's going to be structured enough. So I mean, it's going to be structurally sound enough that I can, push on the body to, let's say, push a locomotive if I need to just manually move it around. But I also want to make sure that it's not going to rattle around when I'm driving on the track. And well, I guess I will see once I get to that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I was doing, and these footages are probably a couple of weeks old, and now I'm basically working on two things. So first, it's an electric loco, so I need to have some pantograph, so I'm designing that. But also the other thing is I want to have a small band going sort of like in the middle of the body. And I had no idea how I'm going to do this. I mean, I think I know how I can weld it, but I have no idea how I can buy a band, because like a 1 mil thick steel, which is 1 centimeter wide, well, this is not something that you can just buy, go and buy. Well, at least I'm not aware of any sources. So I was talking to many people, and they said, oh, you can just take a 1 mil sheet and then get an angle iron, grinder, and then cut it. But I'm absolutely hopeless. So I tried using the angle grinder with a cutoff disc, and I also have this nibbler, and basically whatever I was doing ended up being absolute crap. And because I'm going to do some CNC parts for the pantograph, I just said, okay, I need to go to the CNC fab to make some additional parts manufacturers. So basically I just drew up these strings, or these strips in 3D, and I'm going to just laser cut them. So yeah, so I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the pantographs. But other than that, I think the body should be complete. Well, having said that, I need to get the windows, the doors in. So I need to get some really fine hinges. I need to weld them in. I don't know how difficult that is going to be. And also I have a bunch of holes for the handrails. So I need to manufacture those as well. But that's just basically just some rods that I'm going to bend into place, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that's the plan. It's not going to be any, specially manufactured or 3D printed parts. So that's just going to be just 3 mil rods that I will use, and we'll see how precisely I can bend it so it's going to fit in the holes. Otherwise, I might have to just grind it down a little bit. And I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just going to use some glue or a small tacks to weld it to the body from the inside. But that's the plan. So I have a few more minutes talking through the same thing and showing you the various parts. But okay, so let me show you around. You have seen me welding the whole thing together, and I managed to put it back to where it's supposed to be. I don't know if you've seen it from the video, but I have the main frame, which is this one. And then it comes down, probably you can see the 2 layers here. Like that. So there's the 5 mil frame, and then the 2 mil, which is the body. And well, the two things just slides onto each other. And well, it's quite a nice fit at the moment. So I'm wondering that, whatever paint is going to go on there, that will get rubbed off the first time I'm putting the frame and the chassis and the body together. So yeah, I guess I just have to live with that. Not much I can do at the moment. I wanted to do this way because I don't know, maybe I could have done it the other way, so the body doesn't go on over the frame. But okay, that's the design, so I have to live with this. So I will try to show you my welding, which, I mean, I think it's okay. So I was using these longer beads to tack the front cab and the main frame together, and I used a couple of beads up on the roof as well. It's not a lot. I mean, like probably 2 centimeters every 15 centimeters, something like that. And I also have this angle iron, which that's actually holding the body on the frame. So this is why it doesn't slide any longer, or any further down. And also the front piece has this lip, which obviously sits on the frame. Sorry, this cab, as you can see there. So yeah, okay. Where is the other one? Okay, that's my light. So hopefully you can see that. Yeah, the text. So this is what I was just doing now. Let me change the angle. Maybe we can look through here. So that's the other side. And then all the loops and the two frames. There are some holes in the body, so my plan is that I'm going to drill through those holes and drill through this anger iron, which is here, and then I'm going to weld some nuts onto here, and this is how I'm going to bolt down the frame. So probably I'm just going to use maybe 2 bolts on each side, and that should be more than enough just to hold this frame. And I was told that if I can see the metal, well, discoloring to blue on the other side, then my welds are okay. And I can definitely do it here. I put some tack welds here. I just wanted to make sure that this seam is also closed, so obviously I have to grind that down. But then everything else is in the inside, and I'm not planning to grind it down because I think it's not going to be visible. So yeah, that's the other side, and yeah, the small tack, and well, the front hasn't really changed. That was the same in the last video as well. And I think I used a bit more force on the end of the roofs, just above the cab, so it is not perfectly level. Well, actually it's not that bad. Yeah. Again, it's a little bit of you know, doing something for the first time. So if you can see, I'm not sure if it's going to be visible, but I think on the sides there is actually a little bit of gap because the way the roof is bent down, I think I should have allowed a couple of mil extra space there. Maybe you can see it better, but I didn't. So that's really a, you know, a tight fit there, because this piece here was interfering with the band up there. But then of course on the side it's much easier because the whole, you know, side can just bend inwards. But I didn't want that to happen because otherwise it would look like that the roof sags in the middle. But I think I managed to do that by not pushing really hard on the roof. So that's how the front looks like. Oh yeah, and I took some time to add the buffers and the what is it, the coupling, and yeah, they look half decent. I used a liberal amount of Bondo to hide the tack welds, and then weld everything together. Sorry, grind everything together. Oh, sorry. And as you can see from a distance, the buffers do not look very crooked either. I think I probably could have used a slightly bit longer buffers, but I think it's going to be fine for, you know, version 1. And I have some leftover springs in there. They are too weak and they are on the wrong size, but it was good enough for testing. I think that will be all for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.